Hello friends, I'm Dr. Ruchita Shah from the Department of Psychiatry, PGI Chandigarh. I'm going to talk today about some simple strategies for psychological well-being during these difficult times. We all know that COVID-19 is now a pandemic. And not only that, we are all the time looking out for latest news and updates, talking about graphs, looking at figures, the mortality rates, which stage we are in, and it has created a lot of anxiety amongst all of us. There is stress, there is lack of sleep, restlessness, a very acute and a strange feeling of helplessness about all the uncertainty. We don't know which way it might turn, the worries, and some of us are also going through depressive symptoms. And therefore, it becomes very important at this time that the question that how will I manage and how will I cope with this situation should be answered. Just like we have some measures to protect ourselves physically, there are certain measures to protect ourselves psychologically, and we are going to talk about these simple strategies which we at PGI call the Be Positive mantra. So let's see what is there in being positive. Believe in yourself, exercise every day, connect to people, organize your day, sit and relax, accumulate information but only in a certain way. I'll come to it a little later. Take on the boredom head on, inspire and connect to people, spread positivity, remember that we are in it together, and elude worry. Now, how do we do that? So when I say believe in yourself, always remind yourself that you have seen tough times before. There have been difficulties. When you have faced them, you have solved your problems, you have sought help. A different coping strategy works for each one of us. And at times the same strategy works, while at times another strategy works. So each one of us has a repertoire of coping strategies, like talking to a friend, seeking advice from an elder, talking to a colleague, or listening to a spiritual discourse, right? Or some people like to take things head on, indulging in some relaxation exercise. So a different kind of coping strategy helps each one of us. And whatever has helped you earlier will help you again. So have faith in your own coping resources. And don't worry, you need not go and search for those coping strategies. They will come to you automatically. Yes, exercise. It is very important to exercise daily. It gives you a sense of satisfaction. But moreover, aerobic exercise releases endogenous endorphins or the happiness hormones, which keeps your mood upbeat. And this is very important or very crucial at this juncture. Connect to your old friends, connect to best buddies whom you have not spoken to in a long time, or with whom you are in daily touch. It will help ease the loneliness. But when you connect to people, make sure that you avoid groups and people who bombard you with COVID talk, because there is always something going on in these different circles on social media, various apps that we use. So be mindful of that. Organize your day. Make a simple planner which would include your various daily household chores. It may include your work. If you are a professional who also has to deal with work from home activities, it should include those things also. But ensure that it is not too choked, not too full. So you can postpone the unimportant things to a later date. Ensure that you get 6 to 8 hours of good sleep and try to keep to your planner. However, if you are not able to keep to your planner, do not fret. You can simply, what you need to do is redo it, take off a few things, delegate a few things to the other members in the household. So that would help you to stay in charge of the situation. But in all this, do take breaks, a 10-minute break, a 20-minute break, however the time permits. Practice pranayam or yoga. You can practice any breathing or relaxation techniques. But a big no-no during this time is checking on COVID updates. Now, coming to information, do not load yourself with repetitive information. Restrict checking COVID updates to only 15, 20, maximum of 30 minutes in a day. And make sure that you check from reliable sources, because there is a lot of misinformation out there. So check from reliable sources like the websites of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare or the World Health Organization websites. Take on the boredom head on. You can indulge in some hobby or something creative which you have always wanted to do. Or you can also utilize this time for some personal and professional development. So if you are a homemaker, you can try out a new recipe. A doctor like me can read up about her field, or a lawyer can read about a new case. So decide what would you enjoy and keep changing those activities, and keep on taking breaks and doing these things in between your household chores and work from home activities. Inspire people and spread positivity whenever you talk to someone, whenever you are posting a message, whenever you are interacting with someone. Finally, remind yourself that you are not alone in this, and we are all in it together. And each one of us has to deal with his or her own peculiar circumstances. Now, how do I elude worry? I still keep on worrying the whole day what is going to happen. So a simple strategy which might work for many of us: set aside 15 or 20 minutes in the evening for worrying. I call it the worry time. So whenever you in the daytime you are worrying, catch yourself worrying at other times and tell yourself, I shall worry about these things at 7:15 in the evening. More often than not, the time when we actually sit for worrying, nothing comes up, right? So many of these things, because we are facing such uncertainties, it would be worrying would only be counterproductive, because we cannot solve anything by worrying. So it is better to deal with worrying more constructively. Now, finally, even after trying these or any such strategies to cope with psychologically, still, if you feel that there is a lot of anxiety, you have depressive symptoms, or you had an existing psychological problem which has worsened, do not hesitate to seek help. There are several helplines all over the country, and these are the helplines which are run by PGI in Chandigarh, and you can contact these numbers. Thank you, and stay positive.